measure the saturation level of oxygen in your blood, we utilize pulse oximetry, a non-invasive diagnostic tool. Your pulse oximeters will generally have a button on them if they're a portable one. If they're attached to a monitor, then they'll start automatically once they're plugged in. So you'll press the button on your pulse oximeter. The pulse oximeter opens so you can insert your finger. And in a short amount of time, you'll see that we get a reading. The top number next to SpO2, 97%, is my oxygen saturation at this time. That lower number, 84, along with that, so I guess I could call that somewhat a waveform, but you'll see the pulsations actually occurring as well that we're measuring. So my pulse rate is about 75 to 84 from what I've seen. Now, you'll see variation in pulse oximetry, and some of the things that can confound it include your hands being cold because your vasculature clamps down, making it more difficult for the device to get a good reading on it. A lot of movement will also confound a pulse oximeter generally, making it very hard to get a reading, so you need to hold still when measuring these values. And that's about it. So let's talk about the reasons why we'll confound these pulse oximeters and their functionality. Inside the pulse oximeter, you see a red flashing light. This red light is what shines through one side of the finger to the other side of the finger, and there's a probe above it, a sensor, to pick up that light shining through. So let's remember, venous blood, or blood with a lower blood oxygenation level, is darker, right? Our veins are blue in color. Arterial blood, or blood that's saturated with oxygen, is red in color. So this red light, dependent upon how much hemoglobin has bound oxygen to it, can shine through a significant portion if you have a lot of oxygenated blood, or it'll have trouble shining through the darker aspects of your capillaries or veins or arteries or arterioles or venules, and you'll get a lower reading on your oxygen saturation. So this is a great example we just found ourselves with, where obviously I am perfusing adequately and I do have adequate oxygen saturation, but I'm getting a reading that's inaccurate. So give it some time, and you'll generally see your pulse oximeter start to get back to an appropriate measurement. If you're having these low measurements chronically for a long period of time, let's definitely make sure our fingers are warm and that we don't have peripheral circulation issues in whomever we're measuring the oxygen saturation of.